Hello, Jesse Cox.
Hey, how's it going? What are you doing up there?
We're just hanging out here, just two little potatoes, for another episode of Forward and Back Again, a Cocktail.
Yeah.
I was rushing you essentially to get this recorded because you were on the verge. You're on the night prior, essentially, to Heavensward here as we're staring at the night sky.
You know, you say that.
I think you are. Here's the thing. I've been saying this for a while, and certain link shells around Eorzea, we've been taking bets on how long it'll take you to get Heavensward. I think you do it. Are you playing after this? We're recording this on Friday evening. For those watching.
Maybe I have stuff I have to edit still,
Okay.
but maybe every time I sit down to play, everyone's like, "You're almost done. You're almost there." And then when I finish, they're like, "Okay, 20 more missions." I'm like, "What? What do you mean 20 more?" Every time.
Someone verified from your VOD last night on Twitch. For those watching, he's been streaming a lot of his, if not all of his, Final Fantasy 14.
All of the story stuff, yeah.
Yeah, pretty recently. So if you want to watch that, twitch.tv/Jesse Cox. But people were watching the VOD last night, and they have determined that you are 20 missions away. Now, in those 20 missions, they vary in what happens, and different things occur. So some are longer than others, but you're on the verge of essentially kind of the first big, like, oh shit, like this is a different game type scenario. Let's talk about the story as is right now, and then in classic Cox fashion, I want you to ruminate on what may or may not happen in the coming quest.
Sure. Okay. So since last time we talked, I traveled to Star Wars Episode 1, apparently, because everything that's happening now is like political intrigue.
Yes.
And
yes.
Like, well, the monetarists and the royalists are working together, but there's this, the what is her name? Nanamo.
Oh yeah.
Nanamo.
Right. Nanamo.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
She decided to do the dumbest thing I've ever seen a character do ever, where she's like, "I've decided to cancel the cartels and royalty and give everything to the people."
Right.
And I'm like, lady, to all the people who are like rioting, and then you're gonna like get this is getting badly. It's so dumb. This is the dumbest strategy I've ever heard anyone. That's why you don't put a child in charge.
Hey, Nanamo is quite old, I believe.
Well, she's the childlike empress in voice for sure.
She is.
Every time she talks, I'm like, Sebastian.
Yeah. Yeah, you are correct.
And then
You
there's
met
the story. Ilberd and Rahoban. I don't know what I think of the two of them. So again, we're
I will be very careful on what I say. Trust me, I will be very careful on agreeing with you, disagreeing with you, all that stuff.
We're somewhere in between Star Wars Episode 1 and Captain America Winter Soldier at this point, because they introduce this character and then are just like, oh yeah, Ilberd and Rahoban, they're like best buddies from like back in the day. Also, there is a spy in the Immortal Flames, and Uldah is, there's someone working with the Empire, and it's very, what's going on? We're gonna sit through way too many cutscenes about this. But the entire time, I was like, okay, they wouldn't go through all the trouble. Just like as a person who knows how writing gets done, I was like, they wouldn't go through all the trouble of this if Rahoban or Ilberd, one of them is the baddie. It has to be it. I'm like, my boy Ralph's been there since day one. I would be devastated if he was evil. But this new guy, I could care less. He's probably the baddie. But then he said some cool stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe he ain't the baddie. But
you did some quests with Ilberd, right?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of quests with him, and he seemed like a pretty cool dude. But then I did a quest where I showed up, and he's like, oh no, all these people were dead when I got here. I was like, you MFer. I don't know that I trust you. So I've got that problem too that I'm trying to solve.
Sure.
And then I did all of the Bahamut, or I'm not sure if they say it in this game, Bahamut. I don't know what they say in this one.
Yeah, you did all of Coil, basically, is the
I did all the Coil
Final Fantasy
stuff,
14
and
terminology.
yeah, and I got to hang out with Alysae, which reminded me that I forgot that that Alfie and Alysae were two different people.
Oh man.
I have the last time I saw Alysae was, I think, 2,000 days ago.
Man, that's okay. All right.
I totally forgot. I remembered briefly when I was inside the FC house that I saw a portrait or something where it was the two of them together.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, huh. That's right, they were twins. But I hadn't seen her gameplay wise since I came back until that moment.
She's great. She's one of my favorite characters.
Everyone kept telling me that she's great in the future, and just like everything in this game, they're like, "Oh, it's so much better, bro."
It is.
So, I'm like, okay.
It's having watched your streams, and watched a lot of the like post Realm Reborn content that's patched 2.1 through 2.55. It is interesting to see the like story beats that they used back then, and just like how ridiculously better the writing is these days. And I think you kind of maybe not shared this on stream the other day, but like there's a lot of that stuff that's just kind of slow. Like nothing happens and they just kind of repeat themselves over and over.
There's a lot of times where I would ask chat, is this where they had a break in between patches? Or
right.
Because there's a lot of times you go see a character.
Oh, that's totally
and they'd
true.
be like, oh yeah, they'd be like, come back and see me. And then the quest is right there. You're like, okay, you click it, and then they repeat everything they just said. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Alphino does that too damn much. Every time you talk to him, he repeats everything he just said, and you're like, "Bro,
right?
Let's go. Let's just go fight Shiva. Let's just go. Let's just go.
You did the Shiva fight. That's right. You did Amphitheater or whatever the fuck it's called.
I thought that was super fun. That was a great fight.
Did you like the music?
Yeah, the music was great. It was totally different than the other types of music that we saw during the Primal fights.
Sure.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've determined that music plays a huge role in storytelling for this game.
It's huge.
And so I don't know what the meaning behind the fact that the Shiva fight was, I don't know if I call the music sad, but it definitely had a different tone. And as the characters keep saying that Shiva isn't a normal primal, and then when you go to the coils again and you find out another not normal primal,
right?
I think that's interesting, and I'm curious how that all relates in the future. I'm sure it will, because then, because then I literally like fought Bahamut and had like a really sad dragon song about murdering dragons, which was really sad. And then afterwards, I guess I'm glad I did that because I did the Bahamut stuff and then continued the story and got sent to Midgar Somar, I guess.
Yeah, you did the Keeper of the Lake, who's currently residing
I
on your
did
head.
that.
Yeah.
And that was an event. I don't understand a thing, and I'm not sure if you can say.
Okay.
But my assumption was, as Minfilia and I were like, have you heard this crystal talk to you lately? And I was like, nod. Right? I don't know. That's all I do in this game is nod. She's like, have you heard the crystal talk to you? And I was like, no. And it felt like we were cut off. And I was like, oh, was it because we used our powers to anime kill whatever his name is, La Habrea? But because they never explain why it stops talking to you. Like the crystal's like, you did it, now go enjoy, and that's it. And then for all of the post that storyline stuff, you never really have contact with the crystal. Then you go see Midgar Somar and he's like, I'm talking to the crystal now, bitch. And you're like, wait, what? And then he sends you to the ethereal realm question, and then all the little crystals you got along the way for defeating all the primals de-primalize. I don't know what happens. And then he's like, cool, you've been cut off. And I had to ask chat, I was like, wait. We're cut off from the crystal now? And they're like, yeah, dude. And that's why you have that little dragon with you. And I was like, what? Okay, I'm just going to go with it. I don't know what's happening. I'm just going with the story.
Yeah, the way that Here's what I'll say. The way that and this is not going to make much sense, so wait till I finish my statement so that might make some sense. The way that the patches are structured is generally patch 2.1 to 2.3 is the end of whatever content came first. So A Realm Reborn ended around 2.3-ish. The new content for the next expansion starts around 2.4, 2.5, and then 2.55 is like the ultimate patch right before the expansion. Not necessarily right before the expansion, but like the big lead-in patch. So you get kind of all the different characters for the next expansion introduced. You get kind of what the general theme is going to be, and somewhat of who or what is going to be kind of the general villain, right? And so
sure. I think I got that figured.
You're getting some of those story threads at this point, and most of, if not all, have been introduced. And you're not supposed to really understand everything at this point, so it makes sense for you to be a little bit lost.
Yeah, it's very obvious based on what you said exactly where I'm at, kind of, because there was a point where the story it switched to focus on the area kind of we're in right now.
Yes,
where it was like, in the mountains,
yeah,
the Ishgardian elf pope lives, and he's definitely, here's my vibe on this.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what, obviously, I feel like they're using us in some way, because this whole like, all of our stuff, all of our supplies are being raided, but hey, we're here to help. But like that, it seems fishy to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed very much like Two Towers kind of vibe, where I think it was La Habrea, and then the dude in white, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his damn name.
Is that Elidibus?
Yeah, that's right. Elidibus, the name I hate.
Yeah.
Yes, the two of them like showed up there, and I was like, oh, are they Grima Wormtongue in this dude? And then one of his knights, and then the lady, like the armored lady, I don't remember, Aymeric, and then whatever
Aymeric is what the meme name of Aymeric is. Aymeric.
Well, Aymeric, everyone was like super into him. Was like, he's all right for an elf. Yeah. He's no potato, but whatever. And so, he was introduced, and at first I was like, I don't trust this dude because he's from the Pope's land. But then he started doing some like nice things. I was like, oh, maybe he is Éomer, and he's like, look, I got to go back there and like, maybe he's like caught up in it, you know?
Sure.
He's like, look, I'm doing this because it's my home. But like, I'm not a baddie, so I don't know. But also, they could all be evil because it feels like everyone's betraying me at all times, constantly. The only people I trust anymore, Thancred, because I've seen him drunk and he's a pervert, and so I trust him.
Mm-hmm.
And Pimpalimo, who is the best character in this game.
Ooh,
yeah,
I like Papalimo's good. Yida, as you refer to her as Yoda.
Yoda is great.
She's good.
Yoda's great, but I don't like her voice all that much, but she's great.
Sure.
She looks cool.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So what happens between now and Heavensward? Where do you think it goes next? Because with the general understanding that things are about to happen is what we'll say.
Yeah.
What happens? Let's get some thoughts here. Where are we going? What's happening?
Okay. I feel like the Crystal Braves, by the way, Alfie, terrible name. I hate it. If I could change that, I would.
Sure. He gets better.
I feel like the Crystal Braves are being used.
Okay.
So I just did a mission where I delivered weapons to some Crystal Braves inside of Uldah, and I was like, did I just deliver weapons to the people that are going to use the weapons to like throw an uprising in Uldah? I'm just letting you know, I feel like that's happening.
Okay.
And I've helped it happen. Based on everything they're telling in the story, I'm convinced they're trying, like, the setup they've done is a very like political shit's going down. And the reason why I think shit's gonna really go down in Uldah is because when I remember this vividly, because I have thought about this since I started playing again. I love Admiral Hottie. I love her.
Sure.
And I couldn't figure out why I didn't join, like why my starting city wasn't her city, right? I couldn't figure it out.
Wait,
And then
well, go ahead, finish your thought, and then I'll ask you a
well,
follow-up.
I recall that when I made this character on your guys' server way back when,
Right.
because I had another server, I was on Ultros originally.
Sure. Naturally.
And when I made this character, I recall someone saying to me, you should definitely make a character in Uldah because shit goes down in Uldah.
Huh. Okay.
I recall that being a thing. Now, I could be wrong. Everything could be fine. But I feel like Adeleji, Valegi, whatever his name is.
Adeleji.
Yeah, that guy, total dick. I feel like...
Have you met him yet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What
Right.
an ass. Yeah. I feel like he is he's like that guy who thinks because he's like, you know who he is? He's the guy in the Dark Knight Rises that is like, you know, he's like, I'm in charge here, mister. And then Bane's like, oh, do you feel like that guy?
Yeah. Okay.
Where he's the rich guy funding everything and he thinks he's in charge, but like, you know, there's eviler people who are running the show. I feel like 100% that's him. Yeah, I think something's gonna happen in Uldah for sure.
Okay.
They would not spend this much time on it.
Sure.
And I think we are, or at least me, am going to be drawn to Ishgard because I guess they're trying to fight dragons, and I have a feeling that story is going to be like, oh, come help us defeat the evil dragons. Then when we get there, it's going to be like, bro, don't you get it? The dragons weren't evil. Cue Avatar 2. Convinced it's the Avatar storyline where it's like, don't you get it? It wasn't the imperialists. It was the native metaphor that was actually the good guys.
Sure.
Convinced that's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I literally have no clue. I'm just wildly guessing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind
context.
of what I was hoping for. So, and I think a lot of people watching were hoping for. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm not gonna say one way or the other. You know what happens. I think everyone that watches this is very excited for what's to come. Is what I'll say. I think that's going to be a very exciting time for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with the story. I'm excited to hear what the new voices sound like. I'm excited to see. I hope that, you know, I hope they take some chances with things, because one of the things I've noticed, and I'm really very worried. Don't spoil this, please, anyone.
Okay.
I'm very worried they're about to pull the Warcraft thing, where they have too many damn characters and none of the characters get enough face time. And so I'm hoping as we move between storylines, like, I don't want to have to worry about Adeleji Belegi every damn expansion. Like, that dude, like, I expect him to be dead at the end of this.
Come and go is what you're saying?
Yeah, like a great example is in Warcraft. They'll introduce a character in one expansion. They'll be super important and then be missing from the next one. You're like, but yeah, that character would 100% be involved in this. Like that dude would, that's his whole thing, is fighting these guys. Why is he not here? And they're like, well, we just didn't have time to write him in. And I hate that shit. So
Gotcha.
Because the Scions, and you see them all the time, and even though they go on different quests with you, they're all like in the base, all these different new characters moving in and out. And then there's all the characters in the main towns. And then there's all these other side characters. And it's just like, okay.
They do a much better job about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I assume, my assumption is, with all the political intrigue happening and with all the like build up to an event, that shit's about to go down. Like, even the bad guys don't die in this game, really, right? Like even the Asians and that Shiva lady, even she was like, I escaped, bitch. And you're like, okay, well, there's more. So I'm thinking, like, I feel like there's no way Like, I'm worried about everyone in Uldah, but I feel like there's no way they'd kill off Rahaban because he's like the leader of a faction. Who would take over that little faction? I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I definitely think the there's a scene that I watched where
Yeah, so let's talk about this because I was in your stream when you mentioned this the other day. Of you saw a cutscene a long time ago, right?
Sure.
What were you about to say? Let's go with that.
Oh, the cutscene I remember a long time ago was there were dragoons and it was like in the mountains, like floating rocks and shit, and like they were fighting dragons and it was, it was like a thing.
Okay, all right, sure.
Yeah, I think I saw the Heavensward thing. The one I do know that I've seen was the shadow whatever. The new one.
Oh, the Shadowbringers one. Well, watching that,
I will say
you're not going to understand anything from that.
Well, what I will say is that I watched that and was like, I don't know what the hell this was a while ago. I was like, I don't know what the hell this is, but it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Having played now and gone through some raids, I like notice shit in there. I'm like, oh, it kind of makes sense, and I know what that is, and I see him switching through classes, and so like it makes more sense because I went back and watched it again. I don't know where I think it was on YouTube and like popped up, and I was like,
it might have started.
Yeah, I know why.
It might have started because you installed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it on YouTube. I literally installed it and it played for me again.
It'll play automatically. Yeah. Your title screen updated essentially. You're on.
Yeah. Yep.
What title screen did you have prior? Did you have a Realm Reborn?
The original, that one. Yeah, the original. I remember when I loaded up one time, everyone in chat was like, "Wow, I haven't seen this in ages."
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that in years. Yeah, they do one for each expansion. The Heavensward was like an icy one. The Stormblood was like a fiery type one, and then the Shadowbringers is the one that is right now for sure.
I don't. Okay. I will say there's like little things that have thrown me for a loop a little bit because like when the Yugiri or whatever showed up from Doma, I was like, oh. Well, the next expansion must be Doma. And
you met Yugiri. Okay. So
yeah, she's covered up entirely, but she's like kind of a dragon lady. And my initial thought was like, oh, are the dragon people the dragons that are fighting in Ishgard? And chat was like, no, dude, those are just dragons. I was like, wait a minute, who are these other people?
Yeah, those they're not really. You'll figure it out.
Well, it's just weird to me that they drop like all these hints about things. Like they were like Shiva laid with a dragon. I was like, yo, Shiva banged a dragon?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so the dragon people are the dragon people, the offspring of Shiva and a dragon? And people were like, nah. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. So that's the other thing they do with the different patches leading up to an expansion is they will drop hints that oftentimes are just not real. They're like MacGuffins in terms of what could happen. But a lot of times, 99% of the time, I think I'm comfortable in saying that they do introduce a character that has a way of fighting that is not in the game yet, or a race that is not in the game yet that may or may not be a playable race that is being unlocked for a future expansion, that type of stuff. And so every kind of big expansion, as the patches get closer and closer to 2.5, everyone's thinking like, oh shit, is this going to be a new class? Because we haven't seen this before in any dungeon, and now they've talked about it twice, so maybe that's going to be the new thing that's announced here at the next Fan Fest type deal. So that's kind of why you're seeing that specifically with Yugiri. That's why she was introduced the way that she was. Yeah, I forgot that she was introduced this early.
Yeah, she shows up, but she has like the body of one of the cat people, but she clearly has a dragon tail. And having seen those characters running around, I'm like, oh, so she's from Doma. That means like all the dragon people are from Doma,
right?
And then that means we're gonna go to Doma. And it was like, nope, you're definitely going to Ishgard, because suddenly it became all about Ishgard. And I was like, ah. And they were like, yes, well, here's the backstory. So now at least I know like the lore I probably knew at one point, but totally forgot. And now I'm like caught up again. So
yeah.
Feeling pretty good about that.
I will say that the next, whenever you do decide to go into the patch content, we'll either all download your VOD and actually do some editing on this. Because your reactions should, it's the type of thing where like I don't want to hype it up and overhype it for you. So we'll just say we'll see what happens. If you do enjoy the content in a way that is exciting to show off, then we'll definitely like take some of your VOD footage from your stream and slice it into the actual
Sure.
recording here of the podcast, because it's fun. The next couple of patches are, or the next couple of quests that you do are a lot of fun to watch. So, yeah, it's exciting stuff. I think everyone's been, it's all kind of been building up to this for everyone watching, right? Because everyone knows obviously what's going to happen for those that have already played the game. And for you not having know it, we're all just kind of like sitting there with our hands twitching like, oh my God, he's almost next. Oh my God. Oh no, he's doing coil tonight. It's taking him, fuck, it's going to take like 2 hours to do that. Type of thing. He's not going to get to it tonight. There's no, okay, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. That's essentially what's been going down in a lot of the conversations. You mentioned coil. How'd you like the Bahamut fight?
I thought it was neat. Yeah, I thought the Bahamut fight was cool. Everyone was like, do it, synced. And I was like,
it's
nah.
actually still hard.
Like, I was like, I do not care that much about the mechanics of a fight that I'll never do again.
You'd have to learn mechanics.
Yeah, I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, when I get to max level and I have to do things that are real mechanical, then I'll worry. But for like old content, I just want to see the story. I was happy that towards the end they started doing voice acting again, even though like sometimes the line reads are like, wait, what?
That gets better.
I'm glad that there's more voice acting happening because it adds a lot to the game.
Too. They get completely
different voice actors. Everyone told me that. Like, I just like that it adds more than just like me being like, oh yes, I'm talking like this. Oh, I'm talking like this. Just, you know, after a while you lose your voice.
Yeah. And trust me, I did the same thing.
Yeah, I just I am excited to see where things go. I like, you know, the story right now sometimes borders on total anime and sometimes borders on like ludicrously just insane. I don't remember. It's in the VOD. Someone said something during a cutscene with the Scions. It was the purple lady, I think. Whatever the purple lady's name is.
Moen Brita? Wait, which purple lady?
Yeah, Moen Brita. That lady.
Okay. With the side cut?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's Moen
the one
Brita.
who everyone told me I'd love, and I'm like, she's no admiral. But whatever. She has a line that I can't even repeat it because I don't remember exactly how insane it was, but it was literally like dialogue from Warhammer 40K. It was the most nonsensical, just like, if she shouted heretics at the end of it, I would have been like, oh, we just entered the different game. Sometimes the dialogue is so crazy. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh man. You don't like Ishgardian are proper fucking like French knights, right? Like they're, it's there's a lot. There's a lot of characters too that Eorzea, as I like to pronounce this, it might actually be the proper way to pronounce.
I think that's actually his name. Yeah.
Yeah. God. When you're talking about reading characters, anytime he talks in some of the later expansion, I would just fucking get upset because I had to read his goddamn. He talks like so. Just flowery bullshit language, right? And it's just like, come on, dude, stop. But
every time
he's a good character. I like him, but he's just a lot.
We must needs. I'm like, get out of here, go away.
Yeah.
But there's been times where they've been talking that I've been sitting there silently, and I've honestly thought like, I get why language over time adapts because I would never talk like this. I was like, you mean I gotta say must needs when I can just say I need or I must? Like, like at some point, someone was like, that's too much, y'all. That's too much.
Yeah, exactly. He's a great example for that. Well, that's kind of the story stuff. You're playing Red Mage now. How are you liking Red Mage?
Red Mage is going great. People keep telling me different ways to play, so I keep learning new things. But everyone's like, no, this is the better strategy. I'm like, all right, well, I did just get.
It's gonna all change. Like everything's gonna change. Every expansion changes the classes drastically. So
I got Moulinet.
Okay.
But every time I try to use it, it's like, nope, sorry, can't execute it this time. I'm like, what do you mean I can't execute it?
Oh, so you probably can't execute that because most of the content that you're doing is de-leveling you down to level 50. And I think that's probably a level 52 red
Oh,
mage
it's
ability.
52. You're right. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh man, it'd be great if I had. Because I have 3 AOE spells. It'd be great if I had an AOE like finisher. I could jump in and go stab, 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 and they're like, oh, you get one at 52, and I was like, great. And I've been trying to use it.
Yeah.
Never lets me use it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're going to be a little bit over leveled for some of the entry stuff. Like the first dungeon, I think, is 51 in Heavensward.
Great. Excited to destroy it. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Well, it'll de-level you essentially. Or wait, it depends what the max. Maybe the max level for that is 53.
But you still have the item level stuff, which is the item level things make things so much easier.
Yeah. And you'll also just like the second you get into Heavensward, all the gear you start getting from the quest will be much higher item level than what you're currently using. So it'll be good. It'll be good. Have you done any yokaiing?
I did yokaiing and I got my watch and I was like, okay.
Have you seen
chat? I saw that dog. That dog's a terrifying, awful thing. I hate it. Oh, I hate that thing. It's terrible. That dog with the face of a man. It's
pretty
it should
dumb.
be put down.
It's pretty dumb.
Put down.
It's pretty dumb.
No, I was apparently found out that there's certain and the yokais, I guess, are related to certain jobs, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, what's the one for red mage? And everyone in chat was like, oh, it's this one. I was like, okay, click. And then chat was like, it's not that one. And I was like, what? So now, instead of like a cool anything, instead of like a, oh my God, I wish I had that. I'm so jealous.
You can get it pretty easily, to be honest. But yeah, it's not that much of a grind to get this dumb mount. I think you can get one that glows.
Instead of that,
what are you rocking?
I got this thing, whatever the hell this guy. I got a man. I have a little man now.
Yeah, I've got all that. I have all the minions already. I haven't grinded them all out though.
I don't want a Zazel. I want like one of the better yokais.
Yeah.
This guy sucks.
You can go get him pretty easily. You just got to put on get your yokai bracelet and go do some fates. It's been pretty remarkable as a longtime player. And I'm sure you've seen some of the fates, but going into like even this zone, we've had countless amount of people fly by from just hanging out here. These zones have been fucking crazy. It has to be, I have no data to back this up, but it has to be probably the most subscribers this game's ever had at one point. The like original zones, the Realm Reborn zones they're just packed. Like there's so many fucking people doing fates right now and grinding out the yokai stuff. It's really crazy to see how many people are back playing the game with all the changes. And it makes
me want to go do that instead of actually do the story so I can get it done
rather than
show up late.
You have 3 months.
Yeah, but I'm going to get to a point where it's going to be like, oh, sorry, no one's doing the event no more.
Dude, the way that the FC works, like if you say you want a group, you'll have 24 people out there helping you. That's just
so worried.
Yeah, you'll be fine. And if you want to, you can take your time. That's the other thing. You can kind of do what you want. But yeah, it's been remarkable seeing how many people are playing.
Oh, I hate that thing. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that dog is the worst thing ever made.
Have you seen this?
I have seen that, and I love that.
These are my favorite. These are my favorite creatures. Did you know that I paid Pocket a large amount of money to make me a Namazu head that I can wear? And it currently sits on the opposite side of my office and stares at me every day.
Did you know I love that? Did you know I love that? Also, did you know Pocket was like, I think I want to try Final Fantasy 14. Has not pulled the trigger. It's a shame.
She's
I'm not saying
before.
to tweet her.
She's played before, I think. She has a character.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware, but I'm just saying, chat.
Get her in here.
People listening, watching right now, at Pocket 2Ks on Twitter, just be like, play Final Fantasy 14. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That's the other. So
it doesn't have to be with us. I'm just saying, like, give in, enjoy.
I think one of my favorite things about this game, and I've seen this countless amounts of times, and I'm even doing it right here with just showing like, have you seen this? Everyone's so excited to share their experiences with this game to new players and be like, have you seen this mount? Check this shit out, man. It's fucking crazy. I'm like flying a little robot. Yeah. Or someone whips out like their fucking umbrella, right? Exactly. It's great. There's so much just nonsense in this game. Have you seen this cloud? Look at this.
Oh, look at you. You're like, if you had a little tail, you'd be like a Saiyan.
Yeah. Yeah. You actually.
Oh, it's always raining on me.
I don't know if you can get this cloud color anymore. I think you have to get a golden one. I don't know.
I love that they keep suckering me in to buy things that I definitely don't need at all, ever. Like
Yeah.
I bought an emote. I've never done that ever
I've done
in anything. Look at this.
Dude,
I bought drinking.
The cash
I
shop
bought
is
drinking.
The cash shop is dangerous. I've got some.
Also,
I've got some dumb.
someone
emotes
gave
too.
me this, and I don't know why I have this.
Is it the
Actions
watermelon?
and traits. The other day, I can't believe this is the thing that I have.
What do you have?
I eat bread.
Give me a smirk. Give me a smirk.
Bam.
It's so stupid.
I love bread.
It's so stupid. I like this. I love bread. And then you do some air quotes, you know? Little air
That's very
quotes.
you character, but like my character's like,
Yeah.
bam. Ladies.
There's some real dumb ones. What is this? Examine self. I'm just taking a look here. The
oh my
emotes are really
God,
good in this
damn,
game.
look at me.
This is the big one. That's the surprised. And then slash panic was the thing back in Final Fantasy 11 that all the Tarutaru spammed. That's like the classic one right there.
My favorite thing is every cutscene that I have with this guy, when someone appears behind me, he does this like turn.
Look back turn. He does. Yeah,
is that what it is?
He does this. Oh wait, why did it focus on him? It's like look over the shoulder type deal. I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but the way he does it is the most exaggerated, like, what? Every time. It makes, I know you mentioned this at one point. I don't know if we did it on air or off,
Yeah.
but you mentioned to me, like, having a Taru in a cutscene makes everything infinitely better.
Yeah.
It really does.
It
There are
definitely
these
heightens
dramatic
it.
moments where, like, a Primal will appear and be like, no, after 10,000 years, I will have my revenge. And you're like, what? It's incredible.
I think which one is that? Because that's definitely a thing. I just got to figure out which one it is. What is?
I don't
what's this
know.
do? Looks like I'm taking a shit
That's
or
very
something.
cute.
There's this. You do the fist bump. That's really stupid. Yeah, there's. Oh, is it an expression?
Oh,
What is that look? It's so stupid.
I love his voice. It does not match him at all.
oh,
Oh.
Wait, what happens if I wink left? Look at that. Oh god. Also, I've gotten some pretty dumb. I've been doing some dumb stuff. And do I actually have it equipped here? Where did I put it? Let's see. Damn, I don't think I actually have it as a glamour. Yeah, I don't have it necessarily at the moment, but there's a bunch of things where you can type /visor and it'll just show the face, just show the eyes. We'll fuck with that maybe in the future. You were talking about spending money about this, and I'm really upset about it that I'd spend money on something like this because it's not good. It's not good. But I spent $7 on this. I don't know why.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
you did.
No. I don't know why. You got this one. You got the old flame
I do
dance.
have that.
Yeah, we're flame dancing.
We flame dance. I also have
Anyways.
this. Ahem.
You currently have, I think, up on your screen. You have the gentleman quest.
I do.
Yeah, so that's coming soon. You'll see this dance that I'm currently doing a lot coming soon. I'm not gonna say why, but yeah.
Look at my river dance.
It's
Look
pretty good.
at my river dance.
You killed me, Jesse. I'm dead.
I need to find this. It's so silly. This
What?
ridiculous. It might only be in cutscenes that it exists. It's.
oh.
Ugh. I don't see it. It literally is. He just does this turnaround, but it isn't just I turn my head around. His whole little body turns around. It's hilarious. I
don't
can't. Being a little tiny potato is maybe one of the best choices I've ever made.
Yeah. You want to talk about how to alienate a fan base that Namazu had? So I wore the stupid Namazu head in every cutscene throughout the entirety of Stormblood. And so every time they'd cut to me, it was just a dumb fucking catfish staring at the character who was like, oh my God, how are we going to save the world? I can't believe. And then they cut to me and I would just nod. It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. So yeah. All right. I don't know if there's anything else. I'm trying to think if I've seen you do anything, that we should discuss.
Wait, can I hold on now. Can I combine dance and sneer?
Face?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh shit. This is like step. What's the step thing? What's the step movies called? Step
The
It
step
Up?
movies?
Like what? Step It to the Yard? What were those movies called?
Yeah, Step Into the Yard.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. That's what, this is a dance battle now.
I can blush.
It's so stupid.
Can I do like a laugh? I'm trying to do one where like I look at you and then also.
That's an evil one.
Uh-oh, hold on. Sneer and yes.
Jesus.
I think that's my gift. That is a dirty boy.
Well, there you go. There you go.
We wasted everyone's time here right now.
We have. Yeah. For those that have stuck around here watching this bullshit, production notes, we're getting some graphics made for this. So we're going to do some little JC with maybe Asa Odie behind him, chronicling the tales of Jesse Cox of Cox. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe not by next episode, but hopefully we'll see. I'm thinking that the next episode will be a fun one. And I'm thinking whenever you do get to that content, whether it's tonight after this or in the next couple of streams, it'll be a good one. So my only fear is that we've hyped it to where you're just going to be like, oh, okay.
You don't need to worry about that. I have no expectations. I'm like, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
It'll be good. So, thanks everyone once again for watching. If you do want to watch Jesse's reactions to 2.55 and the beginning of Heavensward, he will most likely be streaming it. You can check out his Twitter, twitter.com/Jesse Cox for when he goes live, or just make sure you're following his Twitch channel. You should get a notification on when he does indeed go live. Usually, at least more recently, it's been pretty late night for Americans, starting around like...
When I get done with my stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't, I mean, you know how it be. Sometimes you don't get
Sure.
done till late.
Yeah, I know how it goes. But yeah, that's that. That's what we'll call it here. Another episode of whatever the fuck this weird show is. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you for the next one. It'll be a doozy. Lil JC, you enjoy what's coming up. It's gonna be good times.
Okay, hold on. Let me toast.
All right.
Go, buddy, go.
All right. Don't fate and I'm not gonna make a joke. We'll see you next time, guys. We're out of here. Don't yokai and drink, Jesse. That's the rules.
I won't do
Never
it.
yokai and drink. All right. We're out of here. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.